So when is it time to actually let one of those IT certifications go? I know it's so much sweat equity, time, and of course, money that you put into getting that certification, and no one really truly wants to let one lapse, but as you start to accumulate more and more, like really for a lot of us, that question just becomes more apparent. And not only that, but you start getting all of these emails, these reminders for submit these CPEs, pay this annual fee. Like, when does the ball really end? Well, in today's video, I'm actually going to share with you a few of my thoughts and ideas. And like you know already, it's going to be subjective. Many of you out there may or may not agree, but I'm just really going to keep it real and just give you my thoughts and share, I guess, a few real life examples, just whatever comes off the brain here. And so let's go ahead and get it started. First up, I think anytime that your knowledge truly starts to outpace what you call the value of that certification, then I don't really think that it lends credence to just go ahead and renew that certs. Now, we know there are some top tier certs where for their prestige or whatever, we probably shouldn't let them go, but each of us has to consider whatever that pecking order is for ourselves. But ideally, like I said, if you start just like getting real nasty with Palo Alto, for instance, where not only in the CLI, VPN, IPsec tunnels, layer 3 routes, you just mentally know where to go in the GUI, or like I said, if you're a CLI whiz, just to do almost any type of scenario, then, truly that's going to mean more, not only in an interview, but actually in front of a customer in an engagement than having that PCNSE or whatnot. And truthfully, I let mine lapse probably a year and a half ago. I think I got mine 2021-ish. I think it's only good for like 2 years. And like I said, been heavy into Palo, those last 5 or 6 years. And just truly, it's one of the certs that I let last that it didn't let bother me. It rolled off my back. And another one is like Terraform Associate. Like, each vendor, of course, has their own, ladders, their own different paths. But, with HashiCorp, there's really not that many. I think they've got the associates, they've got some new one, and some of those vaults or whatnot type cert. But once you learn it and start really just immersing yourself in it, there's really no true point unless a job truly requires it. And like I said, as you go and grow and go into your career, we will learn, and you'll know that even if there's a cert on that job description or whatnot, it's a like to have. But if you can really sell yourself and show the value of what you bring to the table, it's not even a checkbox, to be quite honest. But number two, that takes us really to what I think, and that's the cost. Like, not just the monetary cost of renewing and keeping these certs up to par, but the time commitment that it takes to obtain and gain those different credits. Like I said, each vendor, each certification we know is going to be unique in their ways and methods of gaining those. So, like I said, it's going to be whatever you deem is enough. But sometimes it just isn't worth the effort. Like I said, and we'll have a cert for 8, 9, 10 years, pay $65, $95 a year, and by the time you look up, that's 8, 9, $1,000 a pop. Multiply that by having 9 or 10 different ones. Like, it does get pretty steep. And like I said, money shouldn't be the ultimate cost or motivator but for some of us, it really is, especially during these trying times of this economy. So there may be a time where you have your stack and you just have to let one or two go for one of those reasons or not. Third is maybe for some particular reason at some point in your career, there was a specific need or a real requirement to gain a cert. Like, maybe like you're just a network guy or gal, but for some reason you needed to get like a Salesforce like certification just to show improve, or maybe to get a discount for your company. But it's been 4 or 5 years. You've not logged in or even know what, one of those dashboards looks like. So that may be the reason of like when you look in the mirror, like, why am I even keeping this? This was for a special, particular niche or a reason, and there's really no reason to go. That use case doesn't come around too often, but you'd be surprised if you look at your laundry list of certifications for why did you truly get that one, and why am I keeping it around? Fourth, if I had to sit here and think, I think there comes a time in most of our careers, if we stay in this field long enough, where just our career progression, not just our goals, but where we start to ascend to in our path, it just starts to outpace certain certifications. If you get into leadership positions, managerial things like that, we start to see that they may let a few of those real technical certifications trend. Again, it depends on your industry. Like, say, if you're in government and vice banking or something, there's some of those that see risk or certain CJIT that you may want to keep. If you're project management, then of course PMP. Like, but that's one for me. I got my PMP probably 2016, I would say. I've not ever been a program or project like on paper manager. Stepped into the roles when there was a short term void. Really not looking to do that even in the next 10 years. And honestly, that's one where there's an annual. I think we pay that. You either pay the money every 3 years or every year, and of course credits. As you know, continuing education credits, but you can do those credits at the end of that third year. But I think I've renewed mine twice, and I probably have another year and a half coming up. But that's one that, like I said, a lot of people are like, they say dumb, but I don't call anyone dumb. But they be like, you're crazy to let that one go. And the only reason for me personally that I may continue to hold on to it is with government contracting. If there's a role or a contract or something to win a bid where that's needed. But outside of that, there's truthfully, if I'm being transparent, there's no reason for me to keep renewing that one. At one point in time, there was a thought overseas working in Dubai where I thought that may have been the path that I took, but I didn't ever go down that path. And like I said, if I'm being brutally honest with what the Lord has given me right now in my life and can look or foresee the next few years, I don't think that's one that I truly need to keep as well. But again, each of us has to be real with ourselves, look in the mirror and make that decision. And it brings me to really, I could go on and just think of things. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to like, what is your why? What is your true reason? We cannot go back in the past and say, why did you get that or obtain that certification? There's a long story or something that's unique to each of us, we know, but we have to be real with ourselves and say, what value is this certification continuing to provide? And if it's only, for resumes or like, I'm not saying who should or shouldn't be getting new jobs or position. Who am I to say that like every year? But if we could glance at this a larger amount of time in our career, some of us do take on a lot of roles, some not our own faults or whatever. We may need it, but most of us don't work 20 different positions in a lifetime. I'm not saying we will or won't, or who am I to say? But I think if we keep our lens that narrow, that small, and say, I need it just in case this interview or this, like I said, it's just going to be those few times. And if you're confident in yourself and you learn to truly learn the fundamental technologies, learn how to tell a story, and basically sell yourself in these interviews, become more engaging. That's really what, at the end of the day, a lot of hiring managers, even myself, want to know is, can I see this person working here for our organization beside our staff? Are there the intangibles that aren't even technical or certifications that I can see this person sticking around for a few years and providing value to the customer, to the organization, to themselves, continue to improve? Like, a lot of these aren't going to truly be, not to say attested, but you're not going to be able to show a certification to prove that. And so, again, it's not to diminish any certification out there. That's why I'm not really naming, I'm getting ready to, like, I'm not saying CompTIA this, ISC2 or Square that, ISACA this. Like, it's, each of us has our own path. Each of us has our own position each of us has our own vision for our present and future. And so, like I said, this video isn't about that, but it's just to get the brain kind of going and just some things for myself. This is the things that come to my mind at where I'm at in my career, for this laundry list of certs that it's probably time to let a few of them go. And like I said, the PC and SE, I did let that high level Palo Alto cert go. But as I said earlier, like the knowledge gained and what I have far exceeds really that. And so I'm happy with just being able to be myself. If I had to do another interview and speak to that, if that's what the job title was. But like I said, just fundamentally pause, take a second, and just ask yourself, like, what is my reason for keeping this certification, or what are the reasons? And it's only you that's going to be able to answer, is it truly worth it? And you may or may not know. You may go another cycle or two and then look back and say, that, like, don't beat yourself up about it. We all, like I said, or most of us have, if you made it this far in the video, a few certifications that we probably held on to for too long. But it's just the cost. Like I said, we all pay in time or money every second, every minute of our life in some way. And it's the time that we're not going to be able to get back. So just continue to challenge yourself, set new goals. If it's certifications, gain a few, but it's that pursuit of the knowledge and that growth that should ultimately be the compass that's driving you towards that next certification. But I want to thank each and every one of you again, as always, for rocking in here with me today. Hope you found value in this video. And if you don't mind hitting that like button down below. Until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves. Peace.